Let's welcome Dr. James Gomez.
Great. Good evening. How are you? Very good, very good. I'm very happy to be here to endorse my colleague, Dr. Paul Tambaya, the candidate for Bukit Panjang. He's a very good man. He's worked very hard. I think he has already got the vote. I'm just here to endorse and support him, and I wish him well, and very grateful to be here as a speaker at Bukit Panjang. But however, dear friends, Singaporeans, I must address the issues in Sembawang, GRC, and Sembawang West. The title of my speech tonight, is Sembawang Wants Better. SDP will deliver. Fellow Singaporeans, residents of Sembawang West and Sembawang GRC, I'll come straight to the point. Instead of addressing the cost of living and healthcare costs that's hurting Singaporeans, Ong Ye Kung, the PAP's health minister and candidate in Sembawang GRC, spent most of his speech yesterday throwing barbs at the Singapore Democratic Party. Instead of trading barbs or descending into petty politics, I will speak plainly and earnestly. After all, in politics, you must have a certain je ne sais quoi when you address your opponents. Ong frames the contest in Sembawang GRC as a choice between who to include or exclude from the PAP's Sembawang family. So let me be clear with our intentions. The STB believes elections are about policies, accountability, and representation. It is not about personal ties. It's about selecting leaders who will put you at the core, the well-being of residents. SDP's approach to Sembawang is a comprehensive one. We contest both Sembawang West SMC and Sembawang GRC as part of our northern strategy with a town plan that places residents at its core. It is presumptuous of Ong to assume he has the voters' automatic support in Sembawang GRC. No, he does not. And we in the SDP do not believe in his right to this entitlement. We believe in earning the voters' trust through our commitment to speak for the residents as SDP MPs. MPs who are not afraid to challenge bad policies, MPs who won't be silenced, MPs who will ask the tough questions and fight for better answers. Thank you. So while Ong and the PAP argue who should be in or out of their family, the SDP is here to build a larger, more inclusive Sembawang community, one where every voice is heard and every resident matters. And while we are in the subject of Ong's Sembawang family, Ong should ask himself why he abandoned his Aljunied family. And why other PAP MPs move around different constituencies. Let's be reminded, Ong lost in Aljunied in 2011 and he parachuted in 2015 into a Sembawang GRC whose boundary was redrawn. The key thing, the boundary was redrawn. Contrary to his claims that the SDP has only recently shown interest in Sembawang, our engagement in Sembawang has spanned 2 decades, 20 years. We have been actively involved in community outreach, listening to residents, understanding their needs, and standing for elections. After several walkover elections for the PAP, the SDP broke ground and contested the elections in Sembawang in 2006. And we went further and contested again in 2011. And in 2011, the SDP secured the largest swing, voter swing in a GRC in its favor. However, through a redrawing of boundaries in 2015, a large part of Sembawang was cut out and created the new Marsiling UT GRC. So 10 years ago, there is no Marsiling UT GRC, but it was cut out of Sembawang. So the SDP made a choice then to remain and contest in Marsiling UT in 2015 and 2020. While the original Sembawang GRC continued to be decimated by the redrawing of boundaries. In 2022, the SDP decided to bring into its focus Sembawang GRC, which evolved as a natural extension of our ground operation in the nearby Marsiling UT GRC, as well as the changes in the electoral boundaries. Many of the residential and commercial areas have close ties, and with regular redrawing of the boundaries in the northern constituencies, there emerged a natural connection and strategy. And we saw this opportunity within the northern strategy. But apart from the synergies arising from the common boundaries, why did the SDP make this move? For years, we had heard concerns and dissatisfaction with the PAP and Ong's team from cluttered corridors and stairwells, water runoffs and floodings caused by heavy rains, amenities development being unresponsive to the changing demographics of the elderly, young people, and young families, overcrowding in common areas around the MRT stations, and very, very dirty public toilets, and the list goes on. The message to us was the town council under Ong Ye Kung had failed to address these issues. We have seen firsthand how these concerns remain unresolved till today. Residents also expressed to us that they want a strong electoral contender against the PAP in Sembawang GRC, who would not only listen, but also act to resolve these long-standing issues. Yes! So, the SDP put Ong Ye Kung on notice in 2022, that's 3 years ago. And let me remind you what Ong said in 2022 when we made our announcement. He said, "We look forward to a healthy contest and will do our best to win the mandate of the people." But Ong has forgotten all this and chooses now to misrepresent the situation to the voters of Sembawang. Since 2022, the SDP has been in quiet preparations as we listen to the concerns of the Sembawang GRC residents. We conducted house visits, distributed flyers, conducted public meet and greet appearances. If you look around Sembawang these elections, you will see our posters and banners were set up in a timely manner, If you look even more closely in Sembawang, you will notice the SDP has the largest poster in the constituency. The desire to have SDP MPs elected in Sembawang GRC and Sembawang SMC is strong. You see it reflected in the growing team of dedicated and energetic volunteers who are largely from Sembawang and who are driven by the belief that real change is possible if we stand together as a community. To address the residents of Sembawang tomorrow, the SDP will release its town plan. It will lay out our vision for a well-maintained Sembawang and an inclusive community. These are the reasons why we are contesting in Sembawang GRC and Sembawang West SMC as part of SDP's Northern Strategy that also includes Marsiling UT. The attempt this afternoon by PAP's Alex Yam of Marsiling UT GRC to press for explanation for the action taken by political parties to the changes in electoral boundaries is moot, because part of the problem is the absence of an independent election commission. And the opaqueness around the redrawing of boundaries, issues that need to be fixed by a multi-party parliament. I want to end by responding to one final point Ong made yesterday. He claimed that electing an SDP MP would harm Singapore's international credibility. That is just fake news. A strong political system is not built on one-party domination. It is built on checks and balances, robust debate, and the freedom of diverse voices to shape a shared future. Around the world, countries with credible political systems are respected, not because they silence the opposition, but because they embrace it. Rather than expecting what Ong Ye Kung wants you to believe or wants us to believe, having SDP MPs in Parliament will not diminish our international reputation. It will only enhance it. It will show the world that Singaporeans want domestic political accountability, that we will not settle for a system that only serves one party, but one that works for all. So our vision for Sembawang and indeed for Singapore is a future where every voice counts, where policies are made for people, not handed to them. Our presence in Sembawang is a deliberate, well-thought-out response to electoral changes, ground realities, and the growing demand from residents for a real contest and for a real representation. At SDP, we do not trade barbs. We have a certain je ne sais quoi the PAP will never understand. Vote for SDP, vote for SDP MPs, and thank you very much and have a good evening.